He said original conversion rate concept, conversion came from how can I convince someone to go from Hinduism to Catholicism? How can I get someone to go from Buddhism to Catholicism? How can I convert them? Or as a Southern Baptist, it's how can I convince a Catholic to become a Baptist? It's a good joke, okay? So it's a good joke. But that's what conversion is. Conversion is, what is your current thinking? What is your current belief system? What is your current mindset? And if I can get you to believe what I believe, then therefore you're going to do what I do. And I need you to do what I do, so I need you to believe what I believe and feel what I feel. And if you can do that, then I will convert you. I will convert you to my way of thinking. Are you guys with me? That's the most profound thing that I've heard, honestly, in a long time. When I learned this just literally a month ago, I was like, wow. Like if I actually was internal and I started focusing on my own presentations and I started like watching myself and my presentations with my customers and I started going, based upon what Jason is saying and doing in that presentation, is he converting them? Is he changing their thinking? Is he changing their belief system? Is he changing their emotional state from what they currently think about sales training to what he wants them to think about sales training? Because my whole pitch when I pitch sales training is real simple, and that's that you matter. I have to convince a leader that you make a difference, that it's not location, it's not AI, it's not pricing, it's not products, not promotion, it's people. I have to convince them that you matter. And if I can convince them that you matter, then they're going to pay for your training. Does that make sense? But if they're not going to pay for your training if I can't convince them you matter. So that's the number one thing. So I have to convert them because I believe you matter. So I have to convert them that they believe you matter. And they believe you matter so much that it's worth giving you a skill set increase through training. Are you guys with me? But that's what you guys do as well. Customer comes in and they're like, I'm not sure that I want to leave my current neighborhood. I'm not sure I want to leave my current situation. I'm not sure I want to do all these things and move over to an EPCON 55 plus community. I'm not sure this is the right thing for me. I have a lot of fears and frustrations and scares and worries and objections and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just not sure it's really the right thing to do. And so you have to convert them. You have to change their thinking. You have to change their emotions, change their mindset. And so I share that with you because that might be something you want to write down. It's just like, notice the last presentation you did and just ask yourself, if I was a fly on the wall and I watched myself, would I be able to say, man, that person's on track to convert their thinking, to convert their emotional state, to convert their mindset? Just start with that. Just start with that. I mean, forget video shops, right? I mean, it's like here's the 100 things I need to do in a video shop. Forget it. Don't even worry about that. Just focus on, forget the scorecard, just literally watch yourself. If I was to watch that person, would that person be converting that other person? Isn't that like life-changing? Is that life-changing to you like it is for me? Because it's not about all these little details. It's about, like, first just getting that concept right of I'm in the business of converting other people's thinking, mindsets, and beliefs, and based upon my actions, am I really doing that? And so I became obsessed. I love this. I love this word. And so I'm going to share with you right now the number one secret to increasing your conversion rate. Would you like to know what it is? Say yes. All right. Number one secret to increasing your conversion rate, and this is, to me, the most important thing, and it's the thing that we've got to be more kind of obsessed with, we've got to be more focused on, and I'm telling you, this is really it, more than anything else. And we really need to spend more time on this because this is the answer. And the answer is time. The number one thing that we need to increase people's conversion rate, to increase our conversion rate and create relationships that truly matter is that we've got to spend more time with the customer. And now you're thinking, well, of course, Jason. But let me just kind of share some stats with you, right? And some of you already know this, some of you don't, but it's a good reminder. And that's the average new home visitor only spends 30 minutes or less with a new home salesperson, and 20% come back. But on average, how long do you think it takes to convert someone's thinking to buy an EPCON home? How long do you think it takes to convert them? 4 hours? I mean, so think about that, right? So first, I think you should ask yourself that question of how many hours does it take to convert someone? So let's say it does take 4 hours, and it's going to take you 4 hours. But right now, if an average person is spending 30 minutes on the first visit, and only 20% come back, I have another 3.5 hours to go, and I'm only doing that now with 20% of the people that come back. The math's not going to add up. Are you with me? So if we want to increase the be-back ratio, then we have to increase the time spent on the front end. And the time spent per customer is the most important thing. And I know we need more traffic, but honestly, we also need more time. The more time we spend with them, the more our be-back ratio goes up, and the more be-back ratio goes up, the more we can get to that 3 or 4 hour sweet spot, which is what it's going to take to convert someone. And so how do we do that, right? Okay, so if you think about this, like finish this sentence for me. When I was very young, I had lots of time, but I had no money. So when I was very young, I had lots of time, but I had no money. As I got older, I got lots of money, but I ran out of time. Perfect, good. Okay, so this is your demographic. Your demographic has plenty of money, which is what you need, but they don't have time. And they're tired of wasting time shopping, trying to buy a house. They're just they're tired of it. And so what you have to do is you have to stop worrying about selling them a house and instead start selling them your time. Let me say it again. If you want to know the secret to increasing your conversion rate, then you have to spend more time with them. And if you want to know the paradox of selling more, it's stop trying to sell another house and instead try to convince one more customer to spend 10 more minutes with you, or 30 more minutes, or an hour more with you. If you start measuring your success based upon how much time you spend per customer, I promise you your sales will go up. So right now I'm doing a little experiment, and I'll share this experiment with you. So I've got a client of mine right now that's in Florida, and we just started tracking this one thing, so I'm gonna give it to you. I'm sure you start tracking this as well. And so basically every single time a customer comes in, they put on the registration card the time they entered the model. And every time the customer leaves, they put the time the customer exited the model. And then on our weekly training calls, the first thing they do is they put in the chat box, what is their current personal best time spent per customer on the first visit? And every week they celebrate like crazy. Jason, you're not gonna believe this. Like my personal best now is 82 minutes on the first visit. My personal best now is 97 minutes on the first visit. Right now, there's one salesperson that's there that she's over 3 hours on the first visit. Over 3 hours. So could you imagine, which by the way, that's this person right here. So this builder right now is outselling Pulte homes in the same neighborhood 3-to-1 with a $65,000 higher price. So $65,000 more for the same square footage, same neighborhood, same lots, same basically everything. And she's outselling them 3-to-1, but her average time is 3 hours with every customer, and Pulte's average time is less than 22 minutes. How do we know that? Because because Pulte Homes is literally across the street from this builder, and when the customer enters Pulte, she literally she watches the time. When they leave Pulte, she watches the time, and then fortunately they go to them first, and they come to see, because in the model park, she's next, and then her whole goal is to keep them there for 3 hours. So if you're selling basically the same product as the person next door, and you spend 3 hours with them, and the customer spends, the competition spends 23 minutes, who do you think is going to win? It's crazy, isn't it? So again, the simplest thing sometimes you can do to make yourself more money is sometimes the hardest things to do. So, and that is, we got to start measuring time. And so I need you to focus on doing this. So I'm going to share with you today 4 ways to spend more time with your customer and therefore close more deals. So again, it's all about conversion rate. Conversion rate's changing people's thinking. In order to increase your conversion rate, you have to spend more time with them. And right now, I'm going to share with you 4 ways to be able to spend more time with your customer starting now. Number 1, I want you to remind your customer of the pain of wasted time and exchange your time for their money. So how do you do this? Here would be the script, okay? So customer comes in, and I want you to match, pace, lead them. That's an NLP term that you guys all know, which is I want to get in rapport with them, and I want to get them to tell me things they wouldn't normally tell them, because the truth will set us all free. If I can get them to be truthful with me, then I can be truthful with them, and obviously we can kind of get you there faster, right? So I would say something like this. I would say, hey, so Mr. Customer, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm curious, on average, by the time someone comes to see Huntington Estates and Epcot Community, usually we're not the first place they've ever been. Usually they've definitely been, somewhere like another builder before us. I'm curious, how many other kind of new construction builders have you seen before us? And then we're going to bind them. So have you seen like 2 builders, 3 builders, 4 builders? Don't ever make that an open-ended question, because if you say how many builders, like, not many, or I'm not sure. You don't want to do that. If you ask open-ended questions, they're going to stop the conversation. So you want to bind them. So I'm curious, but how many, like 2, 3, 4, 5? And they're going to say, yeah, it's been about 3. And I said, perfect. So you've seen 3 different builders so far, and each of those builders probably, I would assume on average, you probably saw, 3, 4, 5 different floor plans, on average. And they were like, yeah, probably about 4 or 5 floor plans. I was like, got it, so far. So about 15 different homes, again, so far at least. And then prior to that, normally people go and see like older homes as well, and they usually see like 5 or 6, maybe 10 kind of open houses, like during their journey. I'm curious, how many open houses would you say that you've seen? 5, 6, 10, 15? And they're like, yeah, it's probably been about 10. Okay, also about 10 open houses. And then prior to that, normally people usually look for, 12 or 15 months based on our research, and they look online, and they look in their pajamas, on their couch, like in the kitchen table, and they're kind of just looking at parts of town and areas, and they usually see, like hundreds, maybe like 100, 200 like houses online, before they even like walk into that first, older home, that open house, or even a builder. And so I'm curious, how many homes have you seen like online before you even started the journey of walking to that first open house? Was it like 100, 200? And they're like, yeah, it's probably about 100. Got it. So by the time you got to me, you've really seen, over 200, 250 homes online and in person. Man, you got to be exhausted. You got to be exhausted.